Bitcoin appears to have possibly found a bottom. We're going to analyze that today in this video, and that's going to be pretty much all we're going to have time to cover this morning. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships, especially that stalagmite level where you get the real-time trade posts and members-only videos. And if we hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I will open up those real-time trade posts to all paid tiers of the members section. If it happens in 2026, I'll open that up for a month. Go ahead and check that out, especially if you just want to see how I am managing the final blow off section of the Bitcoin rally, which I think is likely starting potentially right now. All right, anyways, let's get right into it now. So Bitcoin, we had a little bit of a scare over the weekend, and I had to make a scary post, one I did not like making, and I said as much, I hate making those posts because I'm like, all right, this is the line we got to hold, but if we don't, we're going to crater and it's going to be really bad. And I think what some people hear is we're cratering, it is really bad. And what I'm really trying to say is we're on the line, we have to watch it. This is that point in time, that inflection point where we've got to be on our toes, we've got to be looking for certain things to take place, and then we are going to decide to be either ultra bullish or ultra bearish at that point in time. That's one of those inflection points. And we came to that this weekend, and I was a little bit nervous. I did do some de-risking into Friday, hoping that things kept going up, but being prepared for it not to, because I'm in significant profit. I'm not gonna lie, I have lots of profit on these things. So I didn't really see an issue with taking 20% here, 30% there, 10% here and there on different things. Especially since my account is significantly higher than it was just a few months ago, and I'd like to keep most of that. So also some things like CleanSpark warrants had become way too large in my portfolio. That had ballooned to nearly 20% of my entire portfolio in the last few weeks. So I cut a little more of a significant chunk of that one. That one I did about 25%-ish of, because it was just such a large portion of my portfolio now that I just didn't feel comfortable holding it all in that one place, parking it all in that one place at this time, especially with how things were looking a bit sketchy at the time. Anyways, so this week I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. Like a lot of things on the daily chart here about Bitcoin, we're going to talk about that real quick here. So yellow line, as always, is the global liquidity line. And look how we got like these dips right here. Let me draw these. Let's see. We got these dips, little pop, dip, little pop. Are we going to get one more dip flat and then a rip and then a bigger dip potentially? Here's how I kind of think it's possibly going to play out. Let me turn off my drawings again. Here's how I think it's likely going to play out right now. So we if you drag this down, the global liquidity, you can see that we are in that little consolidation zone right there, right? We got the little pop up, right on time. We might get a dip right back down to the 200 and then a pop up, which might go to the 50, maybe it'll go to the 20, maybe we'll even try to revisit that high, potentially, we'll see. And then we come back to the 200, touch it one more time, scare everybody, maybe even dip a little bit beneath it like we did here and hold it for a day or two, and then just rip from like that the end of that first week of November, just rip into December. As you can see here, just like we did in September. This is gonna be just like September, I think, right? So remember in September when I was like, hey, see how this yellow line here, let me make this bigger so it's easier to see. Remember, see this yellow line here in September and August around this time? It's like, see how August is really flat, and then when we go starting like late August into September, this thing just kind of just trends upward. I think we're gonna have a good September. And you know what we had? We had a really good September. So I'm looking at that again, and I'm looking at this. We might get a little pop, a little bull trap here, going up, right into the 50, maybe the 20, and I will likely ride this thing up a bit. I might take some. I'm looking at taking some positions here. We might look at making something of an inverted head and shoulders potentially. Let me get my drawn page, like this, right? Something like that, and then just rip into the end of the year, going to 150, 200,000. Who knows? I don't know, but something like that. That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. Also, we're doing what I wanted to do here. Okay, look what we're doing. Remember when I said that we have to engulf these two candles here from October 16th and October 17th? Remember when I said that? Look what we're doing. Look what we're doing right now. We're being held down by the 9 right now, which is a bit spooky. And I'll tell you why it's spooky, because if we see we dropped below it, right? Came back, tested it there, dropped further. We're testing it right now. If we cannot take this and move higher to the 50, which is up at about 114, if we cannot do that, that's where this rolls over and goes lower. So again, we are at that inflection point, and Bitcoin is going to show us which way it wants to go. Now, we can get some hints here. Like if I look at the stochastics, and I don't know why the touchscreen never works to do that, but let me do it with my trackpad, I guess. The stochastics say that we want to go higher. Look at this, green on yellow. Those are good signs. Remember when we had that back here in September, we pushed higher, right? Let's see, back here, right? We went from 109 to 126 last time that happened. So that's pretty cool. We're sitting in that scenario right now. We're also getting the RSI to cross over the signal line, which is also the same thing we had back here September 28th. We also have the BX trender showing weakening selling pressure coming through, which is exactly what we were getting back here. And I might wait until I get a green dot on the BX trender and a little green line up above here. I might wait for that. We'll see. I might nibble today. I might do a little bit of nibbling today on some longs on Bitcoin, and looking to hold those through the end of October, and then not through the end, but till about next week or so, and then look for that dipperoo into the very first days of November, and then a rip. I'm really looking very closely at this little section over here. I'll draw it. This little section right here. I'm watching this very closely. We have a similar big sell-off touching the Bollinger Band. We went flat for 2 days. Flat for 2 days like we did. We had 2 candles going to the lower Bollinger Band, right? The Bollinger Band. 2 days of flatness. And then a candle that went above it and closed above it, which is this one. And then we got a little pause, and then it ripped. So I'm looking for today to get us above this 9, potentially a little bit of a pause here tomorrow, and then I'm looking for a rip that touches the 50 the day after, for like Wednesday or so. And we might just get that today. It might just happen today, but that's kind of what I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin, to see that it's going to keep going. It's going to keep ripping. But remember, the global liquidity says that next week, like not next week. Is that next week? Yeah, next week, isn't it? That starting next week, we should see a bit of a dip, which could take us back to the 200, could take us back down to 103, maybe even touch $100,000 potentially. And then after that, it should be the final, the final countdown. Now that final rip into a significant blow off for the end of the year, and I think that's probably going to be it around early to mid-December, maybe even late November. I will be taking a significant amount of my profit in November. So watch for that. If you're in stalagmite, you'll see that. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to miss the top. It's going to happen. I'm going to miss the top. I'm going to catch it with some things, but I'm going to miss it with others, because I'm not perfect. And if I were, I'd be cheating, and that would be illegal. So like some postulate happened with this big sell-off on October 10th. I did do a really good one here. I'll show you from the member section here on October 8th. If you go back here, this is 12 days ago, October 8th, I sold all my IBIT. I only had a 50% gain on it, but I said, hey, wait a second, I'm seeing some volatility, I don't really like it, and I sold out of all my IBIT calls there. I did roll them to 85s, and I sold those at a slight profit as well. So that was all pretty good. That was nice. I got out of it just before that dip. And of course, how did I know that was going to happen? I didn't know that was going to happen, but I saw the BX trender was showing weakening buying pressure here at the top. I saw that these stochastics had started to roll over, especially right here. You see where the green pinched into purple. That happened on October 8th. And I said, hold on a tick. I think I'll wait. And today I'm seeing the slow stochastics, the purple, turning green, and I'm seeing it on yellow. And I'm saying, okay, I think that we could maybe see a move back up to this volume spike potentially at 115, 116 here in the next day or 2 or 3, which would, I think, given global liquidity, roll over to the 200-day moving average soon after. And then from there, big old rip. So I think I'm going to go into, I might nibble today. I might sell at this volume spike here at about 115. And then what I really want to see is right here. Get over this volume spike right here. I'll draw it. You're going to see all my drawings pop in, but like right here, this volume spike right there, which is at 111. And I've got an alert on there right? And as soon as I get a closure above that bad boy, and of course I'm gonna drill down to like the 2 hour for that. I'm gonna drill down to like the 2 hour on that, and we are getting a bull flag under that thing. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Let me actually go down to the 30 minute. I'm gonna go down to the 30 minute because you know what? I want to jump on this train early enough. Okay, there's that crossing. I want to see a 30 greater than, and I want to see per bar close, and I want to see, buy calls. I'm gonna tell myself that so that I don't forget today. But I'm seeing a bull flag right under it. As long as we don't go any lower than like 110.5, as long as we don't go any lower than 110.5 on this, I could see this pushing higher. So that's that for Bitcoin. And I think that's all I got right now. If we go and look at the Bitcoin miners, those are all doing exceptionally well this morning. I'm a little bit sad that I sold some of my CleanSpark. Those are up 20% this morning, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I might look at Bitfarms again. I'm getting, I kind of like that we came down to the 9 and we're bouncing. I like that a lot. Hive, I might be ready to get back behind Hive again. We came down to the 20 and bounced off that, so that's pretty nice. We might move a lot higher off that. Let's see, what about anything else? I'll be likely adding to my $5 calls. I've got some $5 call. I have some $2 calls that I sold 30% of on Friday and hundreds of percent profit, and I'm looking at now the $5 calls for the end of the year. And if you're in Stalagmite, you'll see if I do that or not, or when I do it. What else is interesting to me? Soluna, I'm still holding like all my Soluna. Soluna is just a beast, and I'm very happy with Soluna, so I'll keep holding that. What else is going pretty good here? Not much else. BMNR is up nicely. I did sell out of my BMNR shares, but I do have a cash secured put that's making me some money on that, so that's all pretty exciting too. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Those do so much to help grow the channel. We're really trying to grow right now. Get us to that 10,000 subscribers. I'll open up the Stalagmite posts to all paid tiers through the end of the year. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.